So where'd you grow up, Robbie?
I grew up, I gotta say, I grew up, most of my summers I spent in Hartford, Connecticut at my grandparents' house. And that's where my single More Than Anything comes from. Playing on Putnam Street. My grandfather was a janitor for the school and church at the same time. They were tied together. So I would spend the day in the gymnasium playing sports with my older brothers. There was a piano. We would fool around on the piano and do all that. So great summers, going to the drive-in, all that, the movies, the music,
Hmm.
MTV, all of that. That was pretty great growing up. And also the holidays, I would spend at my grandma's house, and that had a huge impact on my life growing up. So yeah.
It sounds pretty idyllic.
Well, no, because my parents divorced. I was 5 years old, and it shattered me. I mean, it when you're five, the foundations of your life is mommy and daddy and family and all that. And when he completely left, and we stopped seeing him. It was like, oh my god, what just happened? You can't, that 5 year old boy still and will never understand what happened, because I started a new life on that day when it happened. Because I have memories of, visual memory of when my father was there, but no emotions with the images that are in my memory. So I really started a new kid, 5 years old, and started a new life. And I try not to get inside that little 5 year old, because that's tough. That's tough.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it wasn't perfect. I grew up in poverty, so it was great that my grandparents, we'd spent a lot of time there. And also, my grandparents worked multiple jobs. Sometimes they would send money for the Christmas gifts, because my mom could afford to buy Christmas gifts or birthday gifts, and some clothing, shoes, and all that. So they took good care of us. It was still very tough. I remember in high school, there was a point where I didn't have any money to buy the 50 cent bus ride to go have lunch at home.
Hmm.
And if even if I did, there wasn't really anything to eat, so I would just stay in school and drink water. In high school, that was pretty
Yeah.
tough. So yeah,
Yeah.
it
So,
wasn't that
so
easy.
I'll take back what I said about idyllic. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at my grandparents' house, it was. It was. I mean,
It was.
Christmas was amazing, and the summers were amazing, because we would travel around, all the East Coast, and visit all sorts of things, and driving around. That was really awesome. Great memories.
It does sound like there are some happy memories in there, and that sounds
Yeah.
like a good mix for a songwriter. You've got to have a little bit of the happy and a little bit of the sad to make a good song. Some hope and some anguish, and you know,
Yeah, and I mean, it's hard to connect with everybody's, we say country music is authentic, it's genuine and all that. But if you had the perfect life where, I don't know, you're the son of a rich person in the music industry or something, and you have it easy where, all your, that it's going to happen, and it's not the same. You don't have the same struggles. Yes, you do. You still have some
right,
struggles, but it's not the same, and it doesn't
right.
bring as much, to the table. And we also, oftentimes you will see an amazing young country artist, and he's amazing. I mean, amazing voice and all that, but he didn't go through enough stuff to be kind of credible, or have, where we would connect, because he's too young. He hasn't been through all what we've
Mm-hmm.
been through. So it's that's why,
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes you will see them not until, late 20s, 30s, when they will start to really, you know do music that really hits you. It's like, oh my God, this is really good. And I connect, I relate to this. And
Right.
it's a little harder when they're younger.
Yeah. I write some, and I sing a little bit, apart from what we're doing here, but it was that way for me. My childhood was pretty generally happy. I mean, we were kind of lower class. I did not come from a middle class family. So, but apart from that, apart from the money, it was super happy, super normal, super laid back. And so I grew up, when I started writing, it was just kind of everything was sort of basic, and I didn't really have any pain to write from. So it took me to my early 40s probably to write anything that that normal people could connect to, I think.
You got mortgage, you got so many things that, kids and all
Yeah,
that. It creates, yeah. So I totally get
absolutely.
it. It takes a little of that, to get more behind your belt. And
Hmm.
yeah, totally agree with you.
It does, and also to like grow as a human. You get more reflective. And most of us do get more reflective and get a little wisdom. I guess I think the Bible talks some about wisdom. You get a little bit of that under your belt, and you actually know
Yeah.
what these things mean.
Yeah, you
And
start you
so
start connecting the
maybe you
dots.
have more to say.
Exactly. Yeah, you start connecting the dots, and totally, totally. I mean,
Hmm.
I would not go back to my 20s. When you kind of think you know everything, but in fact you're a little clueless, and I wouldn't go back there.
No, I wouldn't want to.